Hi everyone, so this is my very first ASMR video and I wasn't sure what I would like to do it on, so I've decided to start with Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards are something I collected as a kid. I still have my entire collection, and I figured what better way to show it off than in an ASMR video where we can just relax, talk about all the different types, and I can sort of get started in my first ASMR type video. So my name is Sarah. I'm from British Columbia in Canada. I love Pokemon, Magic cards. I still play a lot of Skyrim, and I try to play other games, but I don't always have the time. I have a horse as well. I have my own business and a part-time job and a house and a stepson, so all of these things keep me really busy. But I find the time for my passion, my many passions that allow me to be really creative, and I'm hoping this will be another one. So, without further ado, just so you guys know, I do bite my fingers. They're not the prettiest looking fingers, so I apologize for that. I'd like to just start this first video by showing you my fire Pokemon cards. And I've sorted all of my cards into types a while ago, and they've just been sitting around waiting for me to put them back into their card case, but I haven't got to it yet, and perhaps it's because I was destined to do this video. So, without further ado, this is my very first card I'm showing you today. That was just a random pick off the top. Rapidash evolves from Ponyta. As you can see here, stage 1. Two attacks. Personally, I don't care for attacks when I play cards that involve coin flipping. There's just a little bit too much chance involved in that for me. Especially if it's an attack that requires a coin to do any damage. This one will do more damage, so it isn't quite as bad. Here we have the basic Pokemon, Ponyta. This is a fire horse Pokemon. As it only weighs 66 pounds, it's a very light horse, must be very small. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I have a horse and he weighs about 1,200 pounds, and he's not what you would consider a big horse. Now, these cards are not in any particular order, so we're just gonna get some really random stuff. They're all in order of type, but I didn't further organize them today. I might for future videos if you guys like this one. This is Growlithe. It's considered to be a puppy Pokemon. However, I have always thought Growlithe and his evolution Arcanine to always be more cat-like. Their manes and their tiger color. At least when I was much younger, that's always what I thought. So this next card, it's a reverse foil or a reverse holo, whatever you prefer to call it, holographic. This was a special edition promo, as you can see by the symbol here. I believe for the first Pokemon movie that came out years ago. And they would give these out at the theater when you went in. It's kind of hard to see the writing on these reverse holographic cards, which is why I don't really like them. They're more of a display piece. I apologize for the noise. I am by a window. Unfortunately, it is one of the quieter places in my home. This is Growlithe's evolution, Arcanine. This is from a special set that I bought about 5 or 6 years ago. When I was feeling nostalgic, I went and bought a box set. This is Charmander's Evolution Charmeleon, also from the same set. And we will come across some doubles, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skip right past those. So here we have an old one. This is a Charmander from the very first set of Pokemon cards. Some of the early basic set, they had lighter colored backgrounds. Excuse me. I'm not really sure if it was an error. This is my very first ASMR video, and talking this slowly and softly is a little more difficult than I thought it would be. I'll try to do better next time for you guys. So as I was saying, this Charmander has a lighter colored background than, say, this Ponyta, and they both come from the same set. It's almost like Charmander's. It's a little more orange. I don't know if it raises any value of the card. I'm pretty sure it only would if it was a first edition. You can see he's setting him something on fire by accident there. Now I have another one here, and this one appears to be the correct color, so might have just been a printing error. Many years ago they released a Team Rocket set, and this Team Rocket set included dark versions of the original Pokemon, and I happened to get some first editions because I bought these cards when they first came out, and I particularly liked the drawing on this one. The artwork is something I've always admired on the Pokemon cards. Some of them I thought was terrible, and others really good. This one's kind of fun and silly. Cyndaquil was a starter Pokemon in, I believe, the next series of new Pokemon to come out before the original, or sorry, after the original 151. And this is also a first edition. It was purchased when the set first came out. And another Team Rocket, a dark Rapidash. Here is a fine example of artwork that I didn't particularly care for. I just thought the horse didn't look proportionally correct. The head's too small. I realize, of course, it's a cartoon and it's art, but one of my favorite Pokemon, so I thought maybe I could have done a little bit better job, but their art is on the card and mine is not, so. And this particular card was one of the favorites of the first edition base set, one of the rare cards and one of the most popular. This is a holographic or foil. Charizard, of course, evolves from Charmeleon, and Charmeleon from Charmander. So when you're playing the actual card game, you would need a Charmander in your deck. You would have to evolve it into a Charmeleon, and finally you would be able to get this Charizard, which despite looking like a dragon, is still not considered a dragon type in today's Pokemon world. Now this is the second edition base set release, where they re-released all of the base Pokemon cards again. So this one I don't believe is really worth anything, but it was a card I wanted so bad as a kid, and other kids would get them in booster packs or trades. And I never had one, so when I got older I bought one off of eBay. I wanted to complete the 151 original Pokemon, and I did. I have another one of these because when I was at the theater they gave us more than one that day. Not a terrible thing. So Typhlosion is like the Charizard of the next set of Pokemon that came out. Evolves from Quilava, who evolves from Cyndaquil, we saw a little bit ago. Very nice artwork on this card. The fossil symbol here, this little boned hand, that was a set that came out that completed, I believe, if my memory serves me, the original 151 in card version. Moltres is one of the 3 legendary bird Pokemon. Of course, there are many, many legendary Pokemon out there now. But the 3 legendary birds are the most well known and remembered. And they actually use the 3 of them for symbols in the new Pokemon Go game for each team. I am a Team Valor member, and Moltres is the symbol of the red Team Valor. I also had the red version when Pokemon came out on the Game Boy and decided to stick with that. Here we have a basic set of Charmeleon. Again, this is a little bit strange artwork. I think this artist here, Mitsuhiro Arita, I hope I'm saying it correctly, was not one of my favorites. I just found his or her artwork to be different. It wasn't my taste, but still a very nice card. Quilava evolves from Cyndaquil and into Typhlosion that we saw a few minutes ago. Quilava is much like Charmeleon, has a middle evolution, moderately powerful, and guess what? I have another one. And another Charmander. This one has always been a favorite of mine. Ninetales is such a beautiful, elegant Pokemon. I love foxes, they're very beautiful animals. Evolves from Vulpix, which has 6 tails, to Ninetales, which is, of course, 9. A very good fire Pokemon, and a beautiful illustration on a foil card. Ken Sugimori is one of my favorite artists on the cards. This is a first edition Flareon from the Jungle set, which was the second set of cards to come out. I do not have this one in holo. I don't think. I may have bought one. I can't recall right now. But as many people know, Flareon evolves from Eevee, known as the evolution Pokemon, because it has many forms that it can evolve into instead of just one. Sorry about that. Still getting to know my camera. Vulpix, the 6-tailed fox Pokemon that evolves into the Ninetales we saw a minute ago. Has a nice attack where you could confuse the Pokemon you're attacking as well as doing damage to it. I do have some doubles, so I'm just gonna put those aside. Have the first Magmar card that came out, which was part of the fossil set. So you can see any symbol here in the original cards denotes the set. We have here another dark card from the Team Rocket set. This is a Dark Flareon first edition. Another Ponyta from the Team Rocket set, which you could use to evolve into a regular Rapidash or Dark Rapidash. Another Team Rocket basic Charmander, first edition. Almost like a 3D character on this card. Interesting artwork. So they came out with a set later on that was a gym leader set, and the original Kanto gym leaders are depicted on each of the cards and their name and what Pokemon they had in the set, I guess. So this would be Blaine. And we have a few more of his here. His Growlithe. So it's excellent artwork. You can really see the puppy, the tongue hanging out now. Another Bonita of Blaine's. Again, only 66 pounds, very small. Unless it's just a very light Pokemon. Brock was also a gym leader, as well as a very popular character in the anime. Ash Ketchum's sidekick. And he was given a Vulpix in the show by a girl he had a crush on. Of course, he had a crush on every girl in the show, but he agreed to raise this Vulpix as his own. And if you watch the anime, you'll know that Vulpix loves to eat the food that he makes. So I do have some newer cards, this being one of them. Slugma, which is like a fire slug Pokemon, and I believe it evolves into Magcargo, which is a snail type Pokemon. I'm not as familiar with these newer Pokemon, but I still have some of them, as I have bought a few over the years. There is another one, Numel. Sort of looks like a camel. This is Arcanine, considered a legendary Pokemon, although it really isn't. I don't think. Not on the same level as like the birds. Evolves from a Growlithe. And it's pretty strong, except, and one thing I never liked about certain cards is having to discard energy in order to use an attack or doing damage to itself. Can really make it difficult to use a card like this, because you're either going to have a lot of energy cards or potions. And there's a fairly high retreat cost as well. Not one I used to play with very often. So I'm pretty much going to end this video here. There are a few more cards that I have. Most of these are doubles, but I will go through this one. This is the first Rapidash card, the Jungle Set, first edition. And some very nice artwork on this one. Not my favorite artist, but he did a good job here. Or she, I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman. I shouldn't assume. So that's it for my first video. I do realize there are mistakes, and of course, without a doubt, I'm gonna have to go back and redo some pieces. But mostly I hope to continue making these videos because it is something I enjoy. I really enjoyed sharing my Pokemon cards with you. They're really nice to hold. They feel nice. I've always liked to just handle them. And we lost one here. And we'll see you guys next time.